the executive director, Mr. Diego Arancibia. Diego, welcome.
Thank you, everyone. Wow, this is an awesome opportunity. And I just got to say, Chris, you mentioning there's a salsa competition, you just on a statewide platform. Now, you know, you got the people in Southern California chomping at the bit to get into that competition. So who knows, but excited to have today in our partner, Mind Body Awareness Project with Micah Anderson and very much maybe co-conspirators. This quote behind me really resonates this. Okay. Come wherever you are, it doesn't matter. Ours is not a caravan of despair. And in this work, it is a caravan of folks. And having a partner like Mind Body Awareness Project that's done this work from the juvenile halls to now with CDE, it's a blessing, but it's also an opportunity to really broaden this caravan. So I'm going to pass it over to our dear colleague, and he's a beautiful soul. Dear brother, but also just a beautiful soul. And it's very much, if you had a chance to experience him virtually, now with things relaxing a little bit more and opening up, hopefully God willing, that we'll be able to convene in a face-to-face to be in the presence of the brother Micah Anderson. So I'll pass it back to you, Micah.
Beautiful. Thank you, Diego, for that warm welcome. It's really an honor to be here today with everyone once again. And yeah, my name is Micah Anderson. I'm a marriage family therapist here in the state of California, and I'm also the clinical director at the Mind Body Awareness Project. And we've been working with underserved communities for the last 20 years, training those who serve them and working directly with youth who are in often some of the most difficult circumstances, detention centers, continuation schools, et cetera. So we're really honored to be here again, and just to build with the California Department of Education and all of you educators and helpers and people who are really on the front lines of what we've been talking about even this morning already, just socio-emotional learning. And really just it's excited to be here. Once things get rolling here this morning, I think there's going to be a lot of discussion, there's going to be a lot of building, there's going to be a lot of learning. So in light of that, so that we can fill ourselves up today, let's see if we can just empty ourselves out for a few moments. And that's kind of what I've been tasked here to do. So we're going to just provide a space maybe for about 4 minutes or so for some reflection, some grounding, and a little bit of basic mindfulness, just to kind of start our day off. It's been a hard couple of years, excuse me, for many of us. Lots of uncertainty politically with the pandemic, and it seems like time's been really flying by very quickly. So I'd like to think of mindfulness as a way to reclaim time for ourselves, right? Because often we just feel like we're skating along and one day melts into the next, right? So this is a way that we can just kind of start to ground ourselves and be a little bit more aware and self-aware so that we could show up in a better place today. So if you haven't meditated before, I'm just going to walk you through everything. I would suggest just sit in a way that's upright and not uptight. That's how it was described to me originally. If you're comfortable closing your eyes, I would invite you to do so. And if you're not, just pick a point in front of you and focus on it. And again, I'll walk you through everything. All you got to do is just kind of go for a ride with me. So again, allowing the eyes to close. Just start out with a couple deep breaths, just welcoming yourself into this moment that you've been working towards, been waiting for. And just for this few moments, see if you could just put everything down. Just give yourself permission to not have to do anything, but just to go within. It might be the only 3 or 4 minutes you have today where you don't have anything but rest. So begin just to connect with yourself, noticing the seat underneath you, the back being supported, feet on the floor, maybe points of contact, again, hands touching each other. Just getting curious with the body right now. How's the body feeling? And we're looking for the real answer, not the right answer. So make room for what is. Make sure you're relaxed, just let the muscles in the face kind of slide off, the jaw, eyebrows. Make sure the shoulders are dangling off the neck, they're not bunched up. And just for a moment or two, see if you can just bring some gentle attention to the in-breath and the out-breath. Maybe at the tip of the nose, the belly rising and falling. Just see if you can connect your attention to one of those spots. Now we've got this thing called the brain, and it's going to try and wriggle off and do something else. Think about what needs to be done, or how I'm not doing this right, or what happened yesterday. Just keep inviting your attention back to this moment, to the here, to the now. And then moving on to see if you can put your finger on an emotion that you might be feeling right now. Or maybe two emotions that you're feeling right now. And keeping in mind that sometimes these emotions could seemingly be in conflict with each other. Or maybe you're exhausted, but you're also excited. See if you can put your finger on an emotion or two just in this moment. And then from this place of self-connection, we're all here together to build, to connect. So allow yourself to connect with this larger group. Maybe thinking of faces, people you know, connections you've made, even new connections to be made. There's people here from all over who share different histories, lived experiences, but all sharing some common purpose to support each other and to support the youth and the populations that we serve. And then as you're connecting deeper to yourself and the group, finally seeing if there's some intention that you may be able to set for this day. Keep it simple, just one word. And how you want to be in this space over the rest of our time here together. And my teachers taught me to make an intention big, beautiful, even if we feel like we may not be able to hold it, right? And finally, connecting that intention to yourself, to the heart, and to this larger group. And then send yourself a moment of gratitude just for showing up. It's not an easy thing to do sometimes. It's just recognizing that. Okay, and then when you're all ready, you can gently allow the eyes to open if they've been closed. Beautiful. Thank you so much for going on that ride with me, everyone. And maybe before we just move on, can we get some words in the chat? Just what was that like for people? Maybe an emotion they were feeling, or people want to put in an intention that they felt. Or just, overall, what that was like for folks. Beautiful. I don't know if I can keep up with them all, but this is great. A lot of relaxation, connection, grounding, peaceful, pause, beautiful, focused, peace, nice, centering, good, 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 good. Irritating, appreciate the honesty, thank you. Like I said, we're always looking for the real answer, not the right one. Beautiful. Curiosity. All right, all right. Well, I don't want to jam things up, folks. So thank you so much for letting me in. It's a real honor to be with y'all today and to start this out for y'all. Thank you.
Thank you, Mike. I just wanted to squeeze that one in there. Thank you. Just appreciate you, and may be well, man. Please say hello to all the folks at NBA.
Took the words right out of my mouth, Diego. Hello, everyone. Lupita Perez with the California After School Network. And Micah, again, thank you so much for that invitation to connect with ourselves right before we jump into the content for the day. So thank you. I just wanted to call attention to the event app, right? Sometimes coming into these webinars, we really want some key resources, some things to take back and look over. So whether you're on your mobile device or on a laptop, there is definitely a button there with access to key resources specific to ELOP. And I'll go ahead and pass it to my colleague, Heather.
Thanks, Lupita. Hi, everyone. Heather Williams with the California After School Network. And I just wanted to call out this huge resource. Today is, an important day and you'll get lots of information, but there is an entire system of support for expanded learning that is here to support you. And so that bit.ly will take you to contact information. We have 16 different county offices of ed that provide support over our 11 regions. A lot of them will be providing workshops today and lots of opportunities to connect with them. If you're an SSCL member, I encourage you to drop your name and who you support into the chat box so people can see you all. We appreciate you being here. And with that, I will pass it to Nat.
Hey everyone, Nat Rosales with the California After School Network. We want your feedback. So let us know how we're doing, whether that's right now, after lunch, or after the event is over. You can access our event feedback form on the app by looking for the icon with an envelope with a paper coming out of it. And now I'm going to pass it over back to Lupita.
All right, we know that connections are key. So again, in the app, you can definitely see all the folks that registered for today and just send a quick message, get connected, maybe ask some questions, share ideas. But yes, definitely take advantage of the features that we have kind of going. Thank you all for the love in the chat as well.
All right, everybody. We're also going to want to get connected, so you can interact with us and other attendees via social media by using the hashtag #CAELO program. You can also find all of the event sponsors for today's event, our social media information on the app under the Follow Us feature. And now that all of those preliminary matters are settled, we're going to be switching gears. I'd like to introduce Michael Funk, the director of the Expanded Learning Division from the California Department of Education, who will be sharing a few words, and passing it over to you, Michael.
Thank you, Nat. Good morning, everyone. Welcome. And I am just very pleased to introduce someone to say a few words this morning from the California Department of Education, who is a phenomenal leader in the space of whole child support in all the different ways that our children need to be loved and cared for in our educational ecosystem. Sarah Novell Morgan is our Deputy Superintendent of the Opportunities for All branch. And she is a great support to me and all of our colleagues. So Sarah, welcome, and please greet our participants.
Thanks so much, Michael. I'm really happy to be able to be part of this welcome meeting today. I know a lot of our other directors and the Opportunities for All branch are here, really showing how interconnected we all are in this work. So as we look at today, and as we look beyond at all the opportunities that have been created by the historic investment in the Expanded Learning Opportunities Program, as well as in universal pre-K, universal meals, community schools, mental health and health, dual language immersion programs, our teacher and workforce pipeline, there's that slide. All of those come together to really create this precious opportunity to recreate, transform our system, and get the system that our children and families need now. So not the one from the early 1900s, not the one from 1950, or even from 2019, but the system that we need here now, 2022 and beyond. The pandemic really provided us with some critical truths, one of which is that schools provide care for families, that families need their children in safe, supportive, educational, whole child, as we look at social, emotional, and all of the mental health supports that are needed. And our administration and legislature really acknowledge that truth. They put their money into that value. into transforming our schools and into having families have more equitable access to high quality environments and opportunities. So as you all dive in today, even more importantly, as you work with your partners and create the ELO program that is really what our children and families and our schools need, we just always challenge all of us to think outside the box. Create that expanded learning program of 2022, not of 2019. You're leading the nation in this work. Michael Funk is known everywhere. All of you, your work is known everywhere. So continue that leadership. Go above and beyond, which I know you will do all the time, to think about how expanded learning really wraps around those instructional components and supports even our youngest learners. This is a new space in this. How do we support TK as we get more and more young 4-year-olds? How do we support kindergarten? How do we embrace our students with disabilities so they are included in these after-school expanded learning opportunities? Our children will need a different type of program as we look at ELOP. They're going to need staff that have more child development knowledge. Some of them are going to need nap time. All of this does push and create, but research also strongly shows that the more we invest in our littles, the more their social emotional health, their full child will be as they navigate all of those transitions into middle school and high school. So you'll start to see that cascade upwards as you look at expanded learning when you've started your strong programs with even younger children. So I look to all of you to embrace that, to continue transforming our schools. Know that that spotlight on California is shining even brighter and stronger with all of this. I am so grateful for Michael Funk and his leadership, for the rest of our expanded learning division team and how they wrap around all of this, as well as for our other OFAB divisions and their partnerships in early ed, multilingual support, nutrition services, and special ed. I'm also extremely grateful for all the other partners in this work. Chris Hartley, you and I are going to be connected over the next couple of years with all of this. And most importantly, to all of you who are on the ground every day, making this happen, pushing the boundaries, making us really think about how we embrace the heart and the families and the children and the workforce. So thank you, and back to you, Michael.
Thank you, Sarah. I love that. Create the program of 2022, not 2019. Thank you, Sarah. Thank you for your leadership. I think Tiffany and Heather are going to join me, and we're going to take down the slide for now. Just doing a tech check. I can't see what's on the view, but
we're on our way. We're coming.
You're on our way. Okay, well, I just wanted to say, if you haven't subscribed to the Expanded Learning Opportunities Program page on the CDE website, then please do. Just yesterday afternoon, round 3 of the frequently asked questions for the Expanded Learning Opportunities Program were posted. And there's some important information there for you to take a look at. A lot of the things in the FAQs are things that we have been providing in the different forms of technical assistance, whether it's been events that we speak at, or whether it's been the fireside chats or the ELOP office hours. We've said things, we've said these FAQs are coming, but now there are some things, most of these things are in writing. Believe me, this took months to vet through all the channels and up left and right, and we're so proud to get them posted today. So that's an important announcement. So Heather and Tiffany, Sarah encouraged us to think about the program of 2022, and I've been felt like a broken record in the various places I've been speaking in the last many months about this program, and trying to get the message out to our educational leaders about this opportunity. And I was literally 5 feet from where I am right now last night at 6:30, and was thinking, how can I share this message in a way that might stick? How can I share a message that might free up some of our planning and some of our understanding of this. And right outside this window, my daughter Janae, age 11, was bouncing a basketball. She'd been bouncing the basketball for about 45 minutes, back and forth on the driveway. She wears out a basketball about every 3 months. So I thought, okay, there's something here. I mean, I played competitively. I coached in high school. There's something here. So let's pull up Janae's slide. So this, just for a minute, this is going to be the Expanded Learning Opportunities Program guidance from the world of Janae. So thank you, Janae. And I'm sorry for all you Los Angeles Rams fans. You know, she's representing the Niners today. And that's just the way it is in our house. So let's go ahead and pull down the slide and bring us three back. So Janae is obsessed with basketball, and she wants to watch, we're in the NBA playoffs. She wants to watch every game. And I used to think that was, well, maybe she's got a love for the game coming, but it turns out it's all about the cute boys at age 11. But occasionally I take her to the middle school to shoot baskets. And I just want to take you back to a time when you've seen children or adolescents who haven't played much basketball before just grab a ball and start to play. You know, Janae gets out there. She's not quite sure. She's kind of hovering around the basket, running back and forth. She's not quite sure what her body's going to do, but she doesn't care. She's moving. She's in the flow. She's running back and forth. And then she takes a shot at the basket and it falls way short. She doesn't care. She's smiling. She's having fun. She gets the ball again. She's running back and forth. And, you know, this repeats itself. Maybe 5, 6, and all of a sudden the ball goes in. And it's this burst of joy and wow. So she does it again. She misses 5 or 6 times, and all of a sudden the ball goes in. And she gets this burst of joy, and and she's practicing, and eventually the ball goes in a little bit more often. What would happen if, instead of letting her imagine and create and just be free with this, if I said, Janae, we're going to start with teaching you the rules. And every time she took 2 steps without making a dribble, I said, stop. Can't do that. Go back and start over again. Or every time she spent 3 seconds in this little box in front of the basket, I said, stop. You got to start over. You can't be there for 3 seconds. Or every time she dribbled with 2 hands instead of 1, I said, stop. You got to start over. Can't do that. Can't start with the rules. You got to start with creativity, imagination. I'm thinking back to the fall of 2019, as Sarah talked about. How many of you in that period said, if I just had more money, I could do this? Well, now I feel like the gravity of the conversation has turned into, tell me the rules. Tell me the rules. Well, if you start with the rules, you can't get into the flow of making a shot, taking a shot, doing something you've always wanted to do, being free. That's what I want to encourage today. Don't start with the rules. And of course, There are those of you who have signed on specifically because you have questions about the rules. There are those of you who have signed on today because your job is to make sure the rules are followed. That's your job. I understand. Here's the news flash. The referees are not going to be in the gym until 2023. That's when the audit starts. So you have an opportunity to practice, to practice, to practice. People say, oh, we got 2 years for planning. No, you got 2 years to practice. Put something on the field. Do like Janae, run around, take a shot. Who cares if you miss? Take another shot. Who cares if you miss? And then when one goes in, have some joy, have some fun. I don't know, Heather, Tiffany, what do you think?
You know, when you asked us to get on the screen, I was like, so everyone else, we didn't know what Michael was going to say or what he was going to talk about. And I think it was exactly what the conversation needed, right? I think people hear us talk about use this time and space to innovate, right? Use this time and space to try the things that you've always thought about doing with your communities, but you just either didn't have the resource, didn't have the time, opportunity. And we mean that, right? But because people are concerned about compliance and people are concerned about getting it right, they're anchored in that place of starting. And I think for the first time in a really long time, we have the opportunity to do what's best and not what we've always been doing. And I think that's it's a different place for people to be in, right? It's a different opportunity for folks. And we're hoping that, you know, just like we said a year ago, all we said was just get started. Right? That was the intent of this event a year ago. Just get started. And now we're saying, so what have you learned? So think about Janae, like when that shot went in, the first thing that we think about is what did I do this time that made that shot go in? So I'm going to try to do that again. So now you start building different institutional knowledge about, well, what did work? And how did we serve young people differently? So yeah, beautiful story, Michael, in a way. Janae's always been inspiring, but now just even a little bit more so. Heather, what about you?
Yeah, we hear a lot about the concerns of like, we can't have a full program up and running, you know, we don't have staff, there's not enough funding. We know the way the structure of the program was created initially, that it wasn't perfect. It offered enough guidance to start to try to hold the vision of what this program could grow to. And so I think that's really what we would love for folks to hold on to. And I know in practicality, what does that look like? That can be challenging, that can be hard. And so we do have 3 really great folks coming on at lunchtime that will talk about what that actually looks like in their district. What is the reality of this? Because I know us just saying like, oh, you know, dream big and serve students, like sounds wonderful and warm and fluffy, but what does that mean in practicality? And so we really will have those folks throughout our workshops and at the lunch plenary really digging into that, because we know that that's the right thing, but it's not an easy thing. We know it's a hard thing. And so we want to make sure that we are here along for the journey and connecting you with the folks that can help you sort through the hard things of making this a reality for what our students and families deserve.
Thank you, Heather and Tiffany. And I just, you know, I wrestled for just a minute as to whether we should take a statewide webinars time to tell a story about 11-year-old playing basketball. But, you know, we've been saying for a long time, the audits don't start until 23, 24. Take this time to try things, start with what your children and families need and deserve. Start with that question. We've said it. And yet it feels like for many places, many conversations are still kind of anchored in the rules. I mean, imagine if you were a coach and your players were imagining what kind of shot they might take. And you said, no, we're not going to try that one because you might take 2 steps without a dribble.
Mm.
Or no, we're not going to try that play, even if I think it's a good play, but we're not going to try that one because you might be in that little box in front of the basket called the key for 3 seconds. Or we're not going to take that shot because you might run into the player in front of you and get an offensive foul. And really, there's places all across the state where well-intentioned people are saying, we're not going to do that because we might not be following the rules. We don't know for sure, but we're not going to risk it. And so I wanted a story just to introduce this, because listen, this is an opportunity, as several said in the opening, to do things for children that they deserve. The system, by and large, there are massive numbers of children who they don't feel seen, they don't feel known, they don't feel supported in the educational system. I'm not blaming anyone. I'm just saying how they feel. That's their experience. How are we taking this opportunity to shift that? And it is our responsibility to do so. So get out there, try a new shot, try something that you know, I can't do that shot. We've never done that shot. We might not follow the rules. Well, try it. You got 2 years, you got a year and a half to practice. I know we're running short on time, but I always say lead with love. And what we just talked about is an act of love. It's an act of taking a risk to know, see, and support children that feel the opposite. And just risk getting close to the rules, getting close to that edge, and do what's best for kids. Back to Tiffany.
Thank you, Michael. And I hope everyone hears the consistent message, right? That this is our opportunity to dream. This is our opportunity to lean in and support some children that have never really been supported in a way that really feels meaningful. So thank you all for kind of spending some time with us. I'm going to pass it to Melissa, who's going to walk us through what's next and how to navigate the rest of our time together. Melissa?
Thanks, Tiff. So what's next? At 9:45, we will offer a 15-minute break, and then we will welcome you all back at 10 o'clock to enter into your workshop sessions that will they'll happen for 90 minutes from 10 to 11:30. Then after that, we will have a lunch break from 11:30 to 12:15. And then really excited to welcome everyone back for our lunch plenary session that Heather was talking about earlier, where we'll feature educational leaders in speaking about their experience with ELOP. So we will see you all soon.